Ladies and gentlemen, now next month in Marvel Contest of Champions, we have Hitmonkey come into the game, who is a monkey who's an assassin, who has nunchucks and also guns. And he doesn't like mercenaries at all. They murdered his entire village of monkeys, and this man is on a mission for revenge. But today, courtesy of the Content Creator Program, we have all the abilities for Hitmonkey, and we're going to have a bit of a chat about this character. When this video goes live, all this information will be available on the MCOC website, along with a little bit about next month's update as well. But Hitmonkey does kind of not really look like the next like god tier, beyond god tier, game-changing champion. He looks a bit annoying on defense, but also like he could be fun to play on offense. He's got like guaranteed crits, a fair amount of bleed damage, and also critical bleeds as well under certain scenarios. He kind of has an ability to ignore evade some of the time, and also the ability to remove some debuffs off him as well. So he seems okay. I think at a stretch, this champion, if the numbers are right and the playstyle kind of doesn't feel like too unnatural, then he might be like a high god tier level champion, but you know, we'll have to wait and see, man. Like, this is a very early look, and it's always hard to tell exactly how good characters are going to be until they're actually in the game. He may really surprise us, because again, he does have a lot of guaranteed crits. So his nunchuck attacks are guaranteed critical hits against opponents who are not blocking. So providing you're attacking into an opponent that's not blocking, you got guaranteed crits, man. And these are on your first medium hit, your first light hit, and second medium hit. And landing 3 crits in a row deals internal damage to the opponent and inflicts a bleed debuff, dealing, I think this is about like 50%, maybe 40% of his attack as bleed damage over 4.5 seconds. So this is going to have like a decent synergy with deep wounds, and also via one of his monkey schemes as well, this bleed can be a critical, or it has a chance to be a critical. So yeah, I think the bleed damage is going to be okay. You can stack these up quite frequently just by spamming 3 combos as well, but I think the viability of like hammering in those 3 combos also is going to depend on the character's block proficiency as well, because if it's a bit too low and you have to like parry 3 combo, then he's going to eat a lot of block damage. And it also depends on, like, you know, what his base crit damage is as well. I think there's a lot of stuff for the base stats of this guy that I don't believe are featured in this spotlight, that we're going to have to wait and see until he's added into the game exactly how viable he's going to be to play. But yeah, guaranteed crits, man, also a bleed on top of it. It doesn't sound too bad damage-wise as well, but again, they do mention the ideal rotation is the medium light medium combo, which is also a very good way to deal with what is it, a lot of annoying champions that have like auto block mechanics or evade. So yeah, that combo is very often used in a variety of scenarios. So we've got Monkey Scheme, Monkey Do. So landing 3 crits in a row gives him a Monkey Scheme, and this is unaffected by ability accuracy. But if you block and dodge after you have a Monkey Scheme, then it converts it into an Assassin's Cunning, which is one of his 2 stances. But if you attack or you get struck, it converts that Monkey Scheme into Primal Rage, and both of these last for 8 seconds. Against mercenary opponents, you always get both. But if we have a look at the list of mercenaries, like, I don't think there's really too many characters that are going to be crazy for his matchup, because you got like Black Widow's a bit annoying, like Domino's annoying, but also she has a good chance to shrug off bleeds and convert them into power. Like Wolverine, I don't think he's going to be a really good matchup there. So yeah, I don't really know that this is like the kind of best advantage to have, and I don't really see how like the bonuses against mercenaries are going to be that effective against a lot of these characters, man, because a lot of them are just very easy to fight. So yeah, I'm not really too sure about that one there. But then also, while either stance is active, Monkey Schemes cannot be gained. So the Central rotation is you do like a 3 combo, and then you have a choice of whether or not you want the Assassin's Cunning or the Primal Rage, and then you need to do something relevant to that. So if you're playing, I assume if you get a parry, then you get Assassin's Cunning. If you like attack into the block or go for an intercept, then you get Primal Rage there. So to give you an idea of what it looks like, it's on the spotlight here. So he's going to start with 0, and if you land a critical hit, he tracks it in the user interface there. 3 of them, then gives him the monkey scheme, and then you either dodge the opponent, parry them, or attack into them to trigger one of the 2 relevant stances. But if he gets knocked down, so if you're fighting him, he's going to activate both of these stances as well, and if the opponent evades, he's going to activate Assassin's Cunning and also refresh Primal Rage, and this is unaffected by ability accuracy, but can't trigger more than once every 15 seconds. So I think this is kind of a way for him as a defender to counter Quake. So yeah, I think Quake's going to be a bad time, I would assume, against him, because then he can just gain like True Strike via Assassin's Cunning, and then just nuke into Quake. So yeah, he's kind of a Quake counter, I think, on defense. But Quake, I don't know, man, she's a way of getting around like pretty much everything, so who knows exactly. So the first of the 2 stances, Assassin's Cunning, prevents the opponent from evading, but also gives him a 60% chance to evade an incoming basic attack while not blocking. And also when this evade is triggered, it removes Assassin's Cunning. So yeah, that's just going to be something a little bit annoying to play around when you're fighting this character, but I assume like any evade counter is going to work quite nicely there. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see until he's in the game. And then we also have the bleed debuffs from Hitmonkey's nunchucks can be critical bleeds, multiplying their potency by his crit damage multiplier, and the chance for a critical bleed is equal to his crit chance. So again, that kind of depends on the I think the base, I don't know if like the guaranteed crits are going to guarantee it. I would assume they probably don't. But yeah, we'll have to see exactly how that damage does scale up. But that could be quite nice, especially with the Deep Wounds Mastery as well. So I'm curious to see if he is going to kind of bring the bleed damage to the table. But also the chance of critical bleeds to occur is further increased for every 3 critical hits landed in a row during Assassin's Cunning. So during Assassin's Cunning, you really want to spam those 3 combos, because it's going to amplify and increase the chance that you get those crit bleeds. I'm not really too sure how much by, because it doesn't like state a specific number. But yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see exactly on that one. And then we also have Primal Rage. So this is the second stance you can enter, which ignores the opponent's armor and resistance. Also gain 100% chance to purify one of each stun and damage over time debuff on Hitmonkey when one is gained. So again, this is another thing. If you knock him down, he's going to gain both stances. So he also has that ability to then just instantly purify a parry stun as well. So I think that's going to make him a bit annoying on defense. But yeah, the fact that he can purify either a stun or a damage over time debuff, this might have I think some good uses in certain scenarios, because you just need, in order to like cleanse one, you just need to do like what is it, a 3 combo and then hit into the block or intercept. So yeah, it's nowhere near as good as like Nick Fury or Aegon's ability to get rid of debuffs, but it might be useful in some scenarios. So I'm curious to see exactly how that one does turn out. Also on top of that, light hits have a 20% chance to disorient the opponent, decreasing their block proficiency and ability accuracy by 40% for 6 seconds, and the chance to disorient is increased by 2.5% for each hit landing during Primal Rage. So he's got a small-ish ability accuracy reduction. I guess 40% is like a fairly decent chunk there, but you need to spam a lot of light hits in order to get it, and it does only last for 6 seconds. So yeah, I don't know if it can be stacked up or not, but Primal Rage, it only does last for 8 seconds, so yeah, I just don't see this being like the most reliable way to bypass like opponent's defensive mechanics, but I may be incorrect. This might be a bit better than it sounds on paper, but yeah, it just doesn't really sound like super appeasing. But also special attacks also have the same chance to disorient for 3 additional seconds as well. So I think the special 2 has like a lot of hits on it, so maybe if it stacks up, you can get a lot of ability accuracy reduction off the special 2. But yeah, I'm interested to see how that one does work out. Then moving on to the special attacks, we've got a special Special One Monkey business. So he says shotguns are more effective when you use your feet. So if Assassin's Cunning is active, this attack has vigilance and cannot miss. And if Primal Rage is active, this attack is unblockable. If this attack causes a miss to fail or breaks through block, refresh Assassin's Cunning and Primal Rage, and Hitmonkey gains vigilance and unblockable until Assassin's Cunning or Primal Rage expires. So, yeah, that seems pretty interesting. Like, again, very annoying on defense. I would imagine there, because if you try and go for the block when it's unblockable, then this guy's just going to wreck you, man. Like, he's going to go fully unblockable for, what is it, like 8 seconds there? So that's going to be a bit of a pain. But maybe there are some interesting and creative ways to use this also on offense to get around certain champions like Invisible Woman. But yeah, I'm a little bit curious of the Special One, man. It seems interesting there. And then we got Special 2, which is Barrels of Monkey. So when one gun isn't enough, diversify. It really catches people off guard. So this attack involves multiple guns and has I think 7 hits. So if it's activated immediately after he lands a critical hit, all hits in this attack are guaranteed to be critical. And Assassin's Cunning and Primal Rage are paused during this attack. So since there are 7 hits in it, I think you can trigger like 2 bleeds off it, or you could do like, what is it, double medium straight into this, and then I think like that's like 3 bleeds that you're going to generate there. So yeah, that might be really good, especially if you can get like, what is it, friggin' crit bleeds off it. It sounds a little bit interesting, man. I think there's going to be a lot of yellow numbers when it does come to like Hitmonkey. Whether or not they're like really big numbers though, I think that is the question. I'm always trying to like cautiously approach new champions, just because I feel like a lot of champions this year have kind of let me down a little bit, so just trying to stay a little bit grounded. But also finally we've got a Special 3, which has something to do with an explosion where he's going to gain a cruelty buff for 27 seconds, increasing his crit damage rating by just over 1,100. So again, with a guaranteed crits, this is going to be a nice additional bonus for longer fights as well. And also, while this is active, striking the opponent pauses Assassin's Cunning and also Primal Rage for 0.3 seconds. So that's going to help kind of prolong the amount of time you're in your monkey stances for, and I think get more critical bleeds and also more ability accuracy reduction in longer fights as well. So yeah, that might be quite good for longer encounters, man. It seems solid there. It kind of looks like every single special attack has got a use, which I really like. And then finally we got the signature ability, which is while the opponent is above 25% health or is a mercenary, Assassin's Cunning and Primal Rage last 3.5 seconds longer. And when they're below 25% health or is a mercenary, Hitmonkey passively reduces their defensive ability accuracy by 40%. So yeah, it gives like a supercharged defensive ability accuracy reduction, especially with the Assassin's Mastery in Assassin's Range. I think that's going to be really handy in certain fights and scenarios. But again, it kind of looks like he doesn't need his Awakened ability, but I think that one's going to be, you know, a little bit helpful for longer fights, and you get more value, more duration out of your stances as well. So it does look like he has a decent benefit from it. And then we have his synergies. So he's got one with Deadpool and Deadpool X-Force. So if any bleed fails to apply to the opponent due to an immunity, he's going to deal an instant passive bleed damage for 50% of his attack. So yeah, I think that might be alright. Again, not quite as good as the bleeds, but it's a nice little substitution. But then you've got Deadpool X-Force. The Special 1 has 100% chance to bleed, dealing damage over 6 seconds, equal to 120% of his attack rating. Again, I just don't really think that's going to be like too crazy. So yeah, you've already got like decent bleed damage off the Special 2, and it's not really like enough to make you like raise your eyebrows, I think, when it does come to Deadpool X-Force there, and also classic Deadpool. So yeah, that one just doesn't seem super good. And then we've got Spider Monkey with Spider-Man. So Hitmonkey, when he's fighting mercenary opponents, he gains the effects of level 1 assassin, but if you already have this mastery, instead activates when the opponent is below 25% of their maximum health. And also Spider-Man, I assume this is the The classic version, the chance for critical rate to be increased by special attacks is increased by 92% flat. Additionally, his spider sense evade does not trigger while blocking. So yeah, that seems like okay. I think that's just his like crit buff. So it's not really anything like super big there, just a nice little bonus. The next one is with Rocket Raccoon, Squirrel Gun, Beast, and Hitmonkey and Rocket. Critical hits have a 30% chance to armor break the opponent for 6 seconds. So I think that's going to be quite decent for Hitmonkey and Rocket. If the armor break stacks, it's going to be really, really good. I don't think it's going to stack, but if it did, man, I think that would be really decent because both of the champions and characters are going to be critting like crazy. So yeah, I really hope that one stacks, man. That's going to be a fire synergy if it does. And it gives like both characters a decent bit of utility, so I do like that one. And also Squirrel Girl and Beast, they gain a combo shield if they lose their combo for 5 seconds. So again, that's all right with them. Not too bad. You know, nice little fail-safe if you do need it there. And then finally we've got one with Daredevil, Hawkeye, and Black Bolt. So Hitmonkey, the last 3 hits of each heavy attack are guaranteed critical hits. So you can get the bleed off the heavy by the look of it. So that should be okay, I would imagine. Maybe quite useful in scenarios where you want a heavy counter. So yeah, that one seems like it might have its uses. And also Daredevil, chance to dodge projectile attacks is increased by 70% flat. So I think that's maybe for Netflix Daredevil, but I may be incorrect on that one. And then we've got Hawkeye. Arrow strikes are guaranteed critical hits against bleeding opponents who are not blocking, so a bit more damage off the special 1 spam, which ain't too bad there. And finally, Black Bolt. Critical rating is increased by 300 for each buff on Black Bolt. That might be really good for Black Bolt, actually, because he, you know, gains like, what is it, 30 buffs up to a maximum when he's awakened. So yeah, that actually might be really, really good for Black Bolt, man. Like, that is going to ramp up his crit chance by a crazy amount. So yeah, I'm curious to test that one out a little bit. And then we've got enemies with Black Widow, Deadly Origin, Elektra, Luke Cage, and Taskmaster, just for a crit node there. And also perfect block chance of Old Man Logan and Massacre, and recommended masteries of stuff like Deep Wounds, Cruelty, and Assassin. But overall, like, I think reading through the spotlight on video, I'm a bit more excited for Hitmonkey. I'm very curious to see how this champion's like damage is going to come together. But you know, like, Mole Man seems so good on the spotlight that I just want to like limit my expectations and kind of wait and see, you know, exactly how good the character is when it comes to his gameplay and performance before I get too excited. But overall, I think he should be a fun novelty to play. You know, he does look pretty badass, man. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on Hitmonkey, but I don't think he's going to be like the craziest game-changing champion that we've ever seen in MCOC. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you excited for Hitmonkey? And also, we have a video coming up shortly as well on the second new character, Tigra, who has some really cool stuff that she can do. I think I'm looking forward to Hitmonkey, but maybe I'm a bit more excited for her. But yeah, they both seem a little bit strange, a little bit interesting. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you did enjoy today's video, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.